guys, Absolute Duelist here, coming at you with another One Piece video. And in today's One Piece video, I'm going to be showcasing to you my top 128 Trafalgar Law deck profile. Now, I'm gonna be honest, 128, it's amazing. We wanted to aim for the top 64 because then we could get a prize card, but sadly, not in the cards. We were X2 all the way until the last round. Then we just kind of got unlucky and didn't see any of our good cards. We didn't see Namis, we didn't see didnts. We did see the Bonnie, but we didn't really see enough one-drops to be able to get to 5 characters on time, to be able to just start tricking out the laws, and we just lost to a Luffy because of it. So yeah, but throughout the tournament, we played a lot of rounds. We went 7-3 by the end of the day. We played literally 9 different decks as well. We played against 9 completely different strategies, and each player was absolutely insane. You're going to be seeing every one of these matches on the channel just because I did get permission to upload them. So you're going to be seeing every single one of these games. They will be recorded over, obviously, because we want to make sure that they have their privacy, their names and everything, and their voices. That's them. But yeah, so what did I play against this tournament? We played round 1 against Blue Crocodile, round 2 was against Katakuri, round 3 was against Ace. He double fire fisted me and I still managed to pull through. Round 4 was against Zoro. This was an L just because we whiffed 3 times and got hit by Fire Fist twice. Very unfortunate. Round 5 we played against Whitebeard, round 6 we played against Doflamingo, round 7 we played against Lucci. Lost this purely because of luck again. Like, we drew no searches that entire game, which was very unfortunate, and he managed to get a Meteor, the event card, the 2-cost event that can kill a 1-cost, off a Kuzan draw, and it allowed him to restand his Lucci and go for game. Otherwise he was dead on the following turn. Then we also played against round 8 another Whitebeard player, round 9 a Kaido player, which was very surprising, an X2 Kaido player. And then round 10, the round that sadly lost, was in against Luffy, where we just didn't see any one-drops. We only saw one Bonnie. Like, we saw Brooks, we saw Izos, we saw lots of cards that we could play, but not enough to get to the 5 number to go ahead and start bouncing stuff and just getting the free advantage that law allows us to get. So yeah, sadly, very good tournament. 128 isn't bad. We do get sleeves and additional event pack. They will be opened on the channel. But yeah, sadly didn't get what we wanted. But we did very well anyway. Like 128 out of 1,054 players, I think it was. Or 58. Absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, this is my second biggest One Piece event. And being able to top 128 both the Treasure Cup back in OP01 and this in OP03, it feels pretty good to do so as well, especially seeing as this format we had Whitebeard still at full power, and next format obviously we had the Radical Beam, Marco, and 9-drop Whitebeard limited. It's going to be interesting to see where the format goes from here as well, because this deck was catered to somewhat beat Whitebeard and also deal with Fire Fist. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the list, and I'll show you guys what we essentially played for this tournament. So what did we play? So starting off for the searches in the deck, we obviously played the 4 Nami, very standard. Look at the top 5, add a Straw Hat character from there to your hand. She is very, very good. Like, honestly, this and didnt are the best searches in the deck. Bonnie is good, but these are so much better. Next, we played 4 Bonnie. She's essentially just here to go ahead and search lore. She has no other purpose. Like, she can go ahead and get, like, Basil Hawkins, Luffy, and Zoro's, but we want to see Trafalgar lore with her. That's the main focus. If we don't see lore, it's just going to be a very bad day sometimes. So you want to be able to see Trafalgar lore, and she's essentially 4 more of the Trafalgar lore. Well, the 5-drop blocker. Next, we played 4 didnt. Essentially the same thing. She can go ahead and play. You can add any 1-cost red character from your deck to your, well, from the top 5 cards of your deck to your hand. So you can add a Nami, you can add Choppers, you can add Otamas, you can add what's her name? You can add Makinos. You can add a ton of different cards from your deck to your hand, and she's just very, very strong. And once you start getting like her and Nami going with like lore, when you just keep recycling them, bouncing them to get more advantage, the game just kind of snowballs into your favor, which is really, really good. So yeah, you play 4 of all of these. Like, these are the 12 searches of the deck. They're the most important cards just for the fact that they can get you to your counters, they can get you to larger hand sizes, they can get you to essentially the point where you'll survive the game, have a point where you have like 2 didnts on the board, swing with them for 5s, and just be very aggressive. Because this deck is very much an aggro lore deck, where you just want to keep swinging face as much as possible, so until your opponent is dead. Like against Whitebeard, you want to be swinging for 6 every time. Against a lot of other decks, you want to be just swinging for 5. Like you just want to keep hitting them and keep getting them to discard cards until they're dead, essentially. Like that's the whole point of the deck. So yeah, but going on to like other cards in the deck, like the other 1 cost, we obviously play the 4 Otama. Very good card, allows us to go ahead and decrease any of our opponent's characters by 2k power. So if they have a rested character, we can go ahead and decrease it, kill it, and make life easier. This came up a lot throughout the day, where I'll just go ahead and decrease the character, play it, decrease the character, swing into that character dies, and then we go ahead and just play another character with, or bounce it with lore. Very, very strong. Next we played 3 Makino. I know a lot of people play 4 Makino, but the reason I'm playing 3, and my hair just doesn't want to sit still, the reason we're playing 3 is because essentially what Makino does is she can rest herself to give any 1 cost red card 3k power, which is very, very strong. But I kind of took her down to 3 just because I wanted to fit in the 3 cost Ezo, because in this format, one of the things that can just win you the game is putting down like multiple blockers, or putting down blocker Marco in like Whitebeard. So I wanted to cut this down to 3 so I had space for that, so I could go ahead and rest that character. And also she's just still really good, where you can go ahead and boost an army, you can go ahead and do a lot of other stuff, but she's not as good as like Otama, who can just decrease power, which just makes it a lot easier for us to do, and we don't have to invest any Don into it most of the time. So she is very, very good, and we do use her to swing for 5 a lot throughout the tournament, but it's just a different card that we play instead of Otama. And then for blockers, like the 1 cost blockers, we're playing the 4 Tony Chopper. Just a chump blocker, very, very good. Like, honestly, you want to be playing 4 of the Chopper just so you can see off the Nami. And then we play 2 Beijay as well, so we have a total of 6 chump blockers. Like, essentially, you just play... Like, I don't want to go above this number, just because, yes, I know free Beijay is not bad, but something I realized in this deck quite easily is that you want to play more red cards than you do green cards. And yes, playing more Beijay means that you can have more blockers, you can have more chump blockers, more 1 costs to play, but I kind of found that he was not a great card to have a lot of the time, and I'd rather have another red cost card such as Chopper, where I can just bounce into hand and then play something else, because he's good, don't get me wrong, but I think 2 is enough. Plus, the only way to search him is with the Bonnie, whereas you can search Chopper off the Dan and Nami, so consistency there. And then the last 1 cost that I played that I feel is actually really, really strong, and I know someone in a regional actually played this not too long ago, but I chose to play this because I've been looking at this card since OP02, and I chose to play it because I felt like, with the fact that Fire Fist is just so strong this format, the fact that Fire Fist is just the lore killer essentially, I wanted to kind of put this in because it gives us a sooner turn 1, so it increases our odds on turn 1, playing more cards. And I wanted to essentially just guarantee that we can get to like 5 characters as quickly as possible. So we're playing 3 Dogura, and what he does is he rests himself to go ahead and play any 1 cost red card from your hand. So a lot of the time what this will do is you'll go ahead and play it, you'll rest him, you'll play a Nami, and then you'll look at the top 5, essentially making it so you have 2 characters on turn 1, which is very, very good, because it means on turn 2 you're going to have up to 3 characters. And if you go second in this deck, you can essentially, if you open like 2 with like 3 red cost 1 drop characters and you have a lore, then you're going to go ahead and drop the Dogura, rest it, play the Nami, and then on the following turn you're going to do it again for both of them, and you're going to get to go ahead and play the lore as well, because you'll hit 5 characters at that point, and you'll be able to go ahead and just start compulsing things much quicker and have the lore by essentially turn 3. So by turn 2, which is just very, very strong. So this is basically just a swarm card. It makes life a bit easier, saves some more of our Don, essentially makes 2 characters for 1 Don, which is very, very nice. And he's very useful in that fact. Like, I really like him. He's a 2k, he's a 2k swing, a 1k counter that can essentially play a Nami for free, which is really, really nice. For 2k cost cards though, that aren't obviously searchers, we play the 4 Brook. Brook's just a phenomenal card. Go ahead and play him, put 2 Don on our leader, swing with our leader for 7, very, very nice, or put 2 Don on anything else and swing with it for 5. He's mainly here just for the 2 cost counter though. We search off the Nami, we go ahead and play it, and we just get the free swing, right? Like, it's pretty good. But yeah, so for Brook, and then for free cost characters, we're playing 2 Zoro. I know a lot of people play 3, but I kind of chose to put him down to 2. And the reason behind this is, 1, he doesn't have counter. 2, yes, rushing is good, and this is an aggro lore deck where we're going to swing as much as possible, but I kind of found that you don't need the 3rd Zoro. Like, I was originally playing 3, and I chose to cut him down to 2 just for the fact that I'm going to just bounce him a lot anyway. We've got 4 Namis to search him. We've essentially got 8 if we got the didnt. So I chose to play 2, and I like the number 2. I feel like 2 of this card is absolutely great. You don't really need more of him. Like, he's just a 5k swing. He doesn't really do a lot against Whitebeard as well, because you've got to invest another Don, which is kind of annoying at times. So I'd much rather just put the Don on my leader and then swing to get rid of like maybe 2 2ks or actually hit the life. Like, against Whitebeard, I didn't really think he was great, but in general, he's a very strong card. Majority of the time, we are just going to bounce him and then play him again and then swing. But, like, I found that these were just good as 2-ofs. Like, they don't have counter. They're good in gen overall just because they can swing right away. But 2 is enough for me. I feel like 2 is enough. And then we also played the 2 Nico Robin. This card is a tech choice of my own design. The reason we're playing Nico Robin is for the pure fact that we play her, we beat Zoro. If we can establish a Nico Robin and we're up against a Zoro player and we just keep swinging each turn with the Nico Robin, we can just keep clearing their characters. We can deal with the buggies, we can deal with the Izos, we can deal with like any 5 costs as well. Like, this was great against Katakuri, because against Katakuri I just played Otama. Otama, go ahead and decrease and then swing to remove a character. Like, this card is just really, really strong, and it's not great against like Whitebeard and stuff, but there was even a time against the Lucci player where I played double Otama with the Nico Robin, then just swang and killed a Sakazuki. Like, this card is absolutely insane. This card is great. The fact that it's every turn and not just once, like, what's his name? The free cost one that can go ahead and just on play kill it. Vista. I just prefer this a lot more, and the fact that she's searchable by Nami makes her even better. Like, honestly, the amount of times where I just saw her in the cards and I was like, I'll take this, was just very, very strong, and I felt like she was just a very, very good card. And every time I had an Otama in my hand, I took this card as well, just for the fact that play Otama, swing, deal with that. Like, she is just phenomenally good. Like, I honestly think Nico Robin is absolutely insane. So we played 2 Nico Robin, and then the only other free cost we play is 2 Izo. Now, Izo is very, very interesting. The reason I'm playing Izo is because the fact that Whitebeard and Marco's in the late game, very annoying. So what I wanted to do was, I wanted to play the 2 Izo. So 1, he's a 2k counter, which is just great, and I caught one Makino for him for the second one. And 2, if we play him, we rest their Marco, and then we just swing for game. Like, if they ain't got enough counter in hand, if they ain't got the ability to survive, or if they've gone and boosted their 10 cost Whitebeard, or they've played a 9-drop Whitebeard, and they put their Whitebeard up to 8, I'll literally just drop this, rest the character, swing into the character, and just end it. Like, generally. Like, the amount of times this came up, so often, very useful, and being a 2k counter that can just rest a 4 cost is just very, very good. Like, generally, he's a very useful card for that, you know, overall. And then for the 4 costs we play, we do play 2 4 costs. We play double Brook. Now, this didn't come up much during the tournament. I mainly used him as counters, but the one time it did come up, because I think I only actually played him twice, but the one time he did come up was against Ace when I got Fire Fisted. And when I got Fire Fisted, I played the Brook, and then the Brook played a Zoro, and I swang with the Zoro. So essentially it got me to 2 more characters on board, and then the following turn I was able to build up my board again. Eventually I did get another Fire Fist in my face, but the fact is, the Brook just allowed me to get more characters on the board, allowed me to rebuild my board. Like, a lot of the things that you're gonna, like, a lot of the cards in this deck, well, 5 of the cards in the deck, like Brook and Dogura, it's just to go ahead and turbo out cards. Like, being able to turbo out your cards is so good in lore, and these 5 cards help so much. Like, generally, if Dogura could play itself, I'll play 4 of it as well. But we're playing 2 Brook right now. That's what we're talking about. And the reason we play Brook is you play him. He goes ahead and plays a 3 cost or less Straw Hat or Film card. So you go ahead and play your Zoras. You go ahead and play your Robins. And you just go ahead and build your board back up. Like, he can play a lot of different stuff. And he's good. He didn't come up very often. But when he did, he was very, very useful. And then on to 5 costs. We're obviously playing the most important one. 4 Blocker Law. 4 Blocker Law is absolutely necessary. This card is phenomenally good. Like, generally, just being able to bounce a red card, put this card on the board, and then bounce like a Nami or a didnt, and then replay those cards to get more cards. Absolutely phenomenal. He's a 6k blocker as well, so you can go ahead and rest him into the 5k swings so you don't take a life. Like, generally, absolutely phenomenal card. Love him. He's great. Like, honestly, this card is the best character in the entire deck, and without this card in the deck, I don't think the deck would function. So yeah, we play 4 of him, and next we play 3 Trafalgar Law, the restand Trafalgar Law from the structure deck. The reason we're playing 3 of him, simple. We're going to go into when we're in the late game, we're going to go ahead and boost one of our characters, probably like maybe the 5 cost here, put it to like 13, swing for 13, and then we're just going to play the restand law by using 2 Don to return a red character. Play this, restand it, swing for 13 again. This card is absolutely insane, being a game-ending card, being a card that can help you just get rid of those annoying characters that you need to deal with. Like, it's absolutely phenomenal, very, very useful, and yeah, I don't think 4 is necessary because 4 is a bit over the top, but I'm definitely happy with the number 3 in this card. And then next we also play 2 Basil Hawkins. This is essentially the Whitebeard killer. You play this purely because it can go ahead and get really big. You can swing into life, and if they block it, you restand it. If they've got multiple characters, you make it really big. You swing into the character, you restand it, and then swing into life again. Like, this card is absolutely phenomenal. It's very good. Every time I played it, it was very strong. And yeah, like, restanding a big character is going to be good regardless, right? So you play that, and then the last card we actually play in the deck is 1 Monkey D. Luffy, the structure deck one. This is obviously the wanted poster one, but this is the rush one that if you put 2 Don under it, it cannot be blocked. This card is absolutely phenomenal. You play one of it just because the end game. Like, it's the same logic as playing the Ezo, but the Ezo is a 3 cost instead of this being a 5 cost. Like, the whole point of it is that you're going to play this card for 2 Don by returning a green cost character, normally Trafalgar Law. You're going to boost him up to like 20k, sorry, not 20k, you're going to boost him up to probably 14, you're going to swing for 14, and they can't block it. So they have to have enough counter in hand to survive. If they don't have 2 Radical Beams, if they don't have multiple guard points, they are going to die. So that's pretty much the whole point about this card. It's very good, it's great for ending games, it's great for mid-game as well, where you just need to go ahead and return a green character to hand, such as Ezo, to then play him and then swing again. Like, it's a very, very useful card and a strong card overall, and I don't want to play more than 1 because he doesn't have counter. He's only really usable in the late to mid game, so I don't want to see him in my opening 5. I'd much rather see a law, either the blocker one or the restand one for that matter, because if I see like multiple supernova cards, it just helps a lot. But this card is very good at 1. I think 1 is enough, so you don't really need to play more. But yeah, guys, that is the Trafalgar Law deck I played for the regional 128. Honestly, I want to get better. Like, we've got a treasure cup coming up in 2 weeks, and I want to top that. I want to get into the top 64 because 2 of the big events that I've been to, I've only gotten the 128 spot. I've bubbled both of them, which is so annoying and so frustrating, but I really, really want to make it into the top 64, get a prize card, because I've still not won a prize card, and I really, really want the chance to win a prize card. So, guys, that is all I have for this video. I hope you did enjoy. Tell me your thoughts on the deck in the comments section below. Do you think it's innovative? Do you think there's things you would change? Like, there's probably a few things that I could change in this list, especially seeing as now Whitebeard is obviously disappearing. Like, something I could definitely take out now is probably the Ezos, because the Ezo is good, it rests characters, but his main purpose in the entire deck was just to be there, to go ahead and rest like a Marco, so you could go ahead and swing or rest a blocker. That was his entire purpose, so I can probably take these out, maybe put in like I don't know, more one-cost cards, probably the 4th Makino, and maybe something else. We'll see what happens, but yeah, like that's really the only thing I could think about changing before we end out this video. But guys, what do you personally think? Do you think this list is great? Do you think there's things you would change? Do you think there's anything you agree with, anything disagree with? But I really do enjoy this Trafalgar Law list. Trafalgar Law is my favorite character. I love the aggro side, and honestly, all day I was just going aggro, 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 and I consider this to be aggro Law just for the fact that the aggressive plays that you do to get as many characters on the board as possible, it just justifies being an aggro deck where you're just going to keep swinging, keep hitting, and until your opponent's eventually dead. That's the whole point of the deck. But guys, that's all I have to say for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely keep an eye out for the regional matches. They will be on the channel at some point. I've just got to record over them. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh content if you're here for that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Absolute Duelist signing out. Hopefully next time we'll make the top 64. Later.